Leo, how you doing? So I'm hearing Jess or Jessup, Jessica, Jessup or Syrup, something to a serum. Some of you might be doing something around VSTs, music production, mixing, mastering. How you doing? Anyway, Leo. So this is not a tarot card reading. This is not a tarot card reading. This is basically where I just channel a load of messages for people, and then at the end I will show you actual where your tarot card reading can be found for August. But I definitely keep hearing this rock a mic, like a candle, Mike, Melissa, Maria, Matilda, Emily, Emily, Emma, Melissa, Maria, Mel, all the M's again, or Jen, Julian, Jason, Justin, Jasmine. But I definitely keep hearing rock a mic, like a candle, to the extreme. Someone's taking something to the extreme. Unless you're listening to extreme itself, how does that go, extreme? More than words, something to do is going to take more than words. But I definitely heard to the extreme. I'm going to take it to the extreme. I'm going to take it to max or Maxine or vaccine. Some of you might be going to have a vaccine, or you're not. But like you could be dealing with afraid not, something to do around a Pisces for a lot of you. Okay, and I'm definitely hearing I'm afraid not. I'm sorry, but it's over, it's finished. Something to do with around taking something too far. Like you took it too far now. It's been too Wayman, the name Way or Way, or it's too far away. It's too far away, or it's been too long. Hold on a second, Leo. I'm picking up a paradox energy here. Obviously, you can watch this as an Aquarian as well because of the 8 placement. I think a lot of you have a lot to do around 7, life path 7 or Cancerian, because they had the similar kind of messages of like forgetting the past and moving on, and it's too far to go. Okay, something to do with Mexico, Texaco, Tesco's, someone that works at Tesco. But I definitely keep hearing that I took it to the extreme and I've took it too far and there's no way back, because there's no way back, like an abandonment. Like I've abandoned someone, like physically kicked them out and abandoned them in the middle of nowhere, or you're just abandoning the whole idea, all itself, and like just AWOL, gone missing, something around Virgo, so which would be a 9. So I've gone missing, I've gone AWOL, I've gone off for a while, is what I'm hearing. But is there any way back? No. Because Cancerians had that in their reading, which was a lot to do with by the time someone gets back. So I'm hearing Virgo placements. By the time you read these lines, I'll be gone, dear John. So something to do with the name John, Julian, Jason, Justin, Jasmine, Jack, Jackie, Jackson, okay, or your son or your daughter. But whichever way it is, it's around that somebody is gone. Okay, so gone missing, gone off, the connection is worn off. By the time you get back, you will read these lines, but I'll be gone. So it's kind of like this waiting game. 7, the Cancerian 7 energy had this of someone that was waiting for someone that wasn't really waiting. Like someone is waiting for the other person. There was a Michael Douglas game involved in it, and someone was playing a waiting game, but whilst someone's playing the waiting game, the other person's moved on. And Cancerian or the 7 energy, because I really do pick up a lot of the same placements or same kind of scenario or story here, is because they had judgment twice through their reading, and by the time you get back, I'll be gone. Okay, so it's kind of like, look, by the time I get back, I want all of your stuff out of the house, and I want you gone out of the house. Some of you are kicking someone out completely, and saying like, by the time I get back, I want you out of the house, and I want you gone. So there's something like that of, because it's kind of coming through as the same story as Cancerian, but a different one now. Okay, where it was kind of like wrapping up the past and forgetting the past, moving on and moving out. Okay, and moving on up and going towards an Aquarian energy 8 of Leo also. Okay, of like I'm looking for someone new and I'm looking for something fresh and new and putting myself first for a change. You could be dealing with a Pisces for a lot of you. Okay, and I'm going to put myself first and ahead of everybody else, and fuck everybody else and leave everybody, because there's this energy of like I can't hold back, I'm not waiting any longer. So you really could be dealing with this 7 energy, because they had that in their placement of like I'm not waiting any longer. There might be a waiting room. Some of you might have to go to the hospital or to the doctors and sit in a waiting room, or somebody's waiting but the other person isn't waiting any longer. That's what I'm saying, because you've got 2 parties here, unless there's a third party, but I'm definitely picking up on a 2-party type sort of thing. Or a part. Oh, okay. August. Oh, so it's your happy birthday, pussies. Like August. So I'm hearing something about this party, but I'm also hearing about a third party, or someone's waiting but the other person isn't. The other person's physically gone and left and is moved on and just like, I'll forget the whole thing. Just move on, move out, get out, or just move on. So basically somebody's not playing a game anymore. Someone thinks a waiting game is a game to play with a person to keep them waiting. Because I'm also hearing can't keep me hanging on, which was, so you might be dealing with a hangman, Pisces, but reference of a song, Don't Leave Me Hanging On. Was it Elton John? So then John, Julian, Justin, Jasmine, Jackie. But like, don't leave me hanging on. I'm not, I've gone, is what I'm hearing. Like, so you might be hanging on and waiting for me, but I've not, I've gone. So you've kind of got this person that's playing a game in your energy of waiting for someone to communicate, but the other person isn't communicating because they have physically left. Because I'm hearing an energy here of something is finished and it's over. Somebody's playing thinking king. There's a Leo energy here that's thinking. And I'm picking up a 5, a placement of Sagittarius or Taurus or a life path 5. And I think you had this. Did you have this before? Someone was overthinking and thinking. Because in my mind, my esoteric reading mind, channeling, I'm seeing a lot of 5 energies. Of a lot of someone that keeps playing these games around communication or not speaking, not speaking. So I think that's finished. That's over. No one's playing that game any longer. So I don't know if you're playing a physical game itself and nobody's playing the game anymore and it's like an old game, or like it's just worn off, it's rotten, it's not working anymore. There could be witchcraft or spellcraft, that doesn't work anyway. But like this energy of like something that's worn off, it's rotten, Rotterdam or Amsterdam, something is gone rotten, it's gone off, it doesn't work anymore, the connection's broke, it's severed, the time from the past is over. They're saying that this game, whatever it is that somebody seems to be playing, somebody isn't playing. It's either Chucky, okay, or whatever, or Child's Play, or children, but somebody is not playing with, so I don't know what that's for. Anyway, somebody is not playing this game any longer. That's what I'm saying. Like, no, I don't want to play this game anymore. Unless you're physically playing on PlayStation or Xbox and someone's like, no, I don't want to play on this game anymore, it's too old. Or like, no, I'm not playing this game with you any longer. Whatever this game seems to be, I'm not playing it. So you might as well play with yourself. So, well, I don't know. Cancerian had a lot of playing with themselves also. So you'll have to watch the Cancerian or the 7 reading there. But like, well, I might as well be playing because I might as well play with myself. So someone is playing with themselves as they're playing with a game with another person, but the other person's not interested in playing a game. I mean, is this an actual physical like Xbox or like a party of people that all join in but people are not joining in? And it's like, yeah, well, you're not joining in with the party. It's like, no, well, I don't want to go to the party. Right? So I don't know what this is around your physical birthday or an event that seems to be coming up, or EV, like DV, but no one seems to be playing, no one seems to be interested. Why is no one interested in things? So something is losing its power. Like there's no interest in something. Like I'm losing interest altogether in the person, in the thing, in Stephen King, in another Stephen, or in a Lion King. But whichever way it is, someone is not interested in playing anymore. Okay. So something like that. So whatever this childish game is that seems to be played between people, if there are, even if this is a physical game, it's like nobody wants to play it anymore. So they're not playing. So somebody's messing around as the other person isn't. Someone's took it very seriously, that's what I'm saying. So, because in your energy, all I keep picking up is these 5 energies, like 5 of Swords, 5 of Wands, 5 of Pentacles, right? Of like playing at home on my own, playing with myself at home, or like playing a one player and nobody else is playing, or like I'm just by my own all the time and nobody else is with me, or like I just want to play with myself, like I don't know. But if there's a metaphysical or any kind of breakup situation of not speaking and not talking, then the other person's gone, they're not bothered. There's like, well, you can do what you like because I'm not bothered. So somebody here is not playing, somebody here is playing mind games on a person that isn't bothered about mind games, put it that way. Because it's either Minecraft and someone's not playing on Minecraft any longer, or like mind games and somebody's playing mind games with themselves, thinking that the other person, by treating them that way, is like, well, I'm thinking of you and I'm thinking of you, but I'm actually thinking of not speaking to you, and I'm actually not talking to you and I'm not thinking, but I am thinking about you. But the other person's like, forget you, I'm not thinking at all, and I'm not thinking about you one iota. So it's kind of like that. So I don't know, so that's your love life, I feel, for a lot of you. Because all of those fives that you had before in a couple of months back or a month back, I think that a lot of this has happened again. And someone's like, right, fuck it, I'm not playing that game any longer. It's happened again. If it happened before, it happened again. If it happened again, it'll happen again. So, you know what, that's it. It's finished. It's done. No more. Finished. Okay. So that could be your love life for a lot of you. Now, I don't know what this is, where they're saying around rota. Okay, my rota. And my rota seems to be going around and around, or your router. Okay, your internet provider or something like that around your internet providing. Someone could be doing things on the internet. Somebody could be talking to somebody on the internet, or you do it as a living, or like someone is talking. Okay, so they're saying that somebody isn't talking to someone, and then somebody is talking to another. That's what I'm saying. There's a weird energy here of what I can't work out. I think that came up in the Cancerian reading around somebody talking to someone, but they're not talking to the other person. Well, people do talking live, Leo. So as I'm saying, you might be talking to someone that you do want to be with, and then not talking to the person that you don't. And if you don't, and you're just fixated on one person, then the other person is talking to someone else. Because you've got this, I'm not waiting any longer, and I'm actually physically looking to talk to another person and not you. So you've kind of got this, like a person that closes down, shuts up, doesn't say anything, while they're playing a game with themselves or playing on their own. Other people have gone off playing different games with other people. So this is either a physical game itself, like an actual game, or like a mind game of like someone just plays that many mind games on themselves. They end up just playing a game with themselves when the other person's not interested in mind games, and they're fucking gone altogether, and they're like, no, I'm not interested in whatever it is that you got to say or do, or whatever it is that you are on about. I'm just basically talking to another person. So I feel in your energy, somebody's playing mind games with a person that they think that they're playing mind games with, but they're not bothered. They're not even, as I'm saying, they're not even, or Stephen, but they're not even playing games. They're serious. They've took it serious. So somebody here is either a child, and it's something to do with kids or children, or like someone's playing childish games with an adult that doesn't want to play. That's what I'm saying. Because I don't know what this play thing is. like I don't want to play with you any longer, or like I don't want to. Okay, let me break it down for you. Somebody here could be playing mind games on a person that isn't playing mind games. They're physically just left and gone somewhere else. And they want to talk, and are, or more than likely in August, going to be talking to someone physically new. Sorry, that is Debbie, come on down. So sorry, I'll get back to you after this. Personal reading. But like I keep hearing this, like, I'm playing games with you, but you don't seem to be playing them, and why are you not bothered that we're not playing anymore? And someone's like, well, I'm really not bothered about playing games because I'm a fucking adult. So someone's kind of like, well, you might be watching adult material, okay, or like, this is too grown up for you, and I'm sorry, but I don't know, I keep picking up on a younger person and an older person. And the older person is kind of like, no, I ain't playing games. And the younger person is like, oh no, come on, let's play a game. And someone's like, no, I'm really not interested in playing games. I would rather just like do something. So you could be dealing with a Gemini for a lot. You see, me in like because Gemini's classed as what I call saprophilia, of like emotional intelligence, right? So it's kind of like, I'm too intellectual in order to play games. I'm too intellectual where I would rather do something with my life that's more stimulating than what I would playing childish little mind games. Or I would rather talk about something that's of importance than what I would rather talk with you about playing games. Like, I mean, this could be a physical game. I mean, me, for instance, I don't really play games. I study music and play music and do something creative. So me, I'm not really an Xbox type sort of person. I've got one, but I'd lose interest in them very, very quickly, because I would rather study education and do music, arts, crafts, painting, drawing, or whatever, or something like that. So I'm not really into games, and I'm definitely not into mind games either, which are probably a lot of you have not. So you really could be dealing with a Piscean for a lot of you, because I'm hearing a knot. Okay, so it's kind of this energy of where, like, you might be playing, but I don't want to play. I've got better things to do, of something that's going to stimulate me more than what you are. So it's kind of like that. Well, you're not really doing it for me anyway. You've kind of got this sexual thing here. This was around also, or sexual desire for a thing, or a Stephen, or like a king, or a lion. You've kind of got this very strange energy around sexual desire, and like not getting it, not being satisfied with what I'm getting. So you've got a sex addict here that is addicted about sex, or like, I don't know, like you've got like a sexual predator or an offender or something here of around this very strange, weird sexual message that I can't work out. Okay. And it feels like someone plays games with people around sex, or they're not getting enough or not getting any, and they're not getting off on the old person, so the other person's gone off trying to find something where they doesn't play games. Because somebody keeps playing games with someone sexually here, in a physical, not speaking, not talking, not speaking, not talking, sexual, strange energy of a one night stand type sort of thing, and it doesn't work, it never has. Like, you're not doing it for me, it's because I'm not physically interested. It's kind of like this, yeah, but because I don't feel anything, right? So it's kind of like the feelings are not in the relationship. Like, someone wants sex, but the other person does it, but they don't have feelings for the person. So it's kind of like, look, it might be a sexual thing, but that's it. There's no love there. There's no like interest in the relationship. It's just an interest about what I'm getting sexually and whether I'm sexually getting off or not. So if someone is that way inclined and the other person isn't, that's why you've got separation here. Because I think that someone's looking for something a little bit more meaningful, or basically not playing games, and because they're saying that mind games, manipulation around sex, right? So someone doesn't want to play those games. I think they're looking for something that's more mature, is what I keep hearing. Like, I'm looking for someone that's more mature and doesn't play games and fuck me about and everything else. I would rather be serious about something that I'm serious about. And I don't think that I don't think that you're serious about each other. I really don't. I think if you're still confused with these mind games and past and all that sort of stuff, I think no one's interested in playing these games. So, well, I don't know. They're saying that one person is, but the other person isn't. Someone finds it very funny that the other person, what the fuck is this a physical child? Like, I don't know. It's a very weird fucking situation that I keep picking up in someone's head, that they keep playing games around someone sexually. Well, that came up in the Cancerian reading, that somebody keeps trying to go back into a cycle when it's finished and then tempt someone back into a sexual desire act, which means that it's over, it's finished, there's no love there, there's no connection there whatsoever, okay, or Trevor. And there's no love or connection there whatsoever, it's faded and it's gone and it's worn off and it doesn't work. But then somebody tempts the other person back into a cycle of sex, right? Which means that they start sexting someone from the past. So if you split up with a person, right, and you broke up with them, they think that the way back in to a cycle of something where there's no love there is by proving something sexually, but it isn't. Because a person tries, as if they're trying to get off on playing games with someone. It's kind of like that. It's like if you haven't spoke to someone for quite some time, right, or for a while, and there's this sexually weird fucking thing that's going on in your energy. Somebody then decides after some time to reach out to a person for a sexual need of an ex-boyfriend or girlfriend, right? And they actually reach out for sex. They actually reach out just for sex, but they don't come across that way. They coach someone back into a karmic cycle, as why the devil was in reverse in the Cancerian reading and the 7 reading. They're coaching someone back into a sexual act to get them, like, I'm going to get you back into a relationship just because of this sending sexual remarks or things to a person, and I'm going to try and get you back into a very toxic scenario situation just because I'm going to, because I want sex. And then the other person, when they get the person back because of sex, the other person doesn't want the relationship. So it's kind of like people are trying to keep a tie together because of sex, but there's no love in it. There's no love in the actual connection. It's just kind of like a sexual need that someone's got, but then when they get the sexual need, they actually want the relationship with it compared to the other person that doesn't, because they don't have any feelings. Like, it's like this energy of a sexual desire, but there's no love there. There's no love, doesn't live here anymore in this connection. It's gone, it's worn off, it's rotten. It's just an energy of someone that keeps like coaching someone back into like a sexual act, and then once the act is finished and done, then it goes back into another cycle where there is no love within the connection at all whatsoever. So someone keeps playing these sexual games to try and get the other person interested in them again, but they're not. So you're dealing with a Pisces, with afraid not. So it came up through the Cancerian reading, and it was a lot about, as I tried to move on, okay, so, well, it wasn't called that, but it's coming up in your reading, and I think you had that before. Taurus Sagittarius had this placement, this reading. As I tried to move on and move forward, do you come back into my life every time it is that I try to move on and away from you? Do you then come back into my life to pull me back? So that isn't happening anymore. That isn't happening anymore. I think a lot of you is bookends, book closed, no more, because I think that this cycle is so worn out, it's like a worn out t-shirt and tyre, okay? So I feel that every time I try to move on, do you then come back and try to coach me back into a sexual act, and then you end up getting me back and we go back into the bed or do anything like that, and then when you do, it ends up exactly the same as what it did before, and every time do I try to move on, do you then come back into my life after playing these mind games and manipulating and not really giving me anything that's tangible? So it's like someone that uses a tactic of sex to manipulate someone into a relationship, but the person doesn't want it. This is definite energy from the past, okay? And it's really relating to like 7 or Cancerian energy, okay? And somebody keeps, like I said, it's a repetitive pattern, because they just keep telling me. Okay, so I'm going to have to go over it one more time. So I don't think you are. Is that is completely and utterly finished now, because even if you do go back, Spirit is saying that energy is going to play out exactly as what it did before, because there are no feelings left in the relationship. It's just a desire of sex that somebody has. I mean, if you want that, that's what you want, and if you both agree on it, then you both agree on it. But here is what I'm picking up is that no, I'm also hearing a no. That is not what I want. That is not what I'm looking for. I'm looking for something that's going to be more mentally stimulating and something that's actually going to be serious and worthwhile me doing, as I'm not going to do it. So some of you might have your work come up or something like that. Man, I forgot to turn that fan off. I really hope that's not blowing on this goddamn microphone. It shouldn't be, because it's not pointed here. Sorry, I normally have the fan down here, okay, and it's not hitting that microphone. If it is, I'll have to edit it, so the audio will be quite bad when I come to editing, because I'll have to take the background noise out. So I do apologise, but it's so hot. But I've got to remember to turn that off, because if it was blowing over here, it would hit that microphone and you wouldn't be able to hear shit. Okay, so anyway, some of you are just bored and fed up and frustrated by not... See, again, it's the same energy. It's a person that reaches out to someone when they're bored and they're fed up and they haven't got anything to do. It's kind of like, well, when I'm bored, when I'm frustrated and I'm fed up, or I'm not at work, that's when I'm going to reach out to you, because I'm bored, I'm fed up. And it's kind of like someone plays these games around actually physically being bored and communicates with the other person when they haven't got anything to do. And they're like, well, when I haven't really got anything else better to do, I'll basically just contact you because I'm bored and fed up and there's no one else that can take me anywhere. And that's why you could be dealing with a 7. Someone could be begging for a lift or something, or like begging for attention to get someone to take them out because they're bored. So, I'm only really using you for a lift. I'm only really using you for like a sexual desire. Or I'm only really Lee, the name Lee or Leanne, or Lucy, but I'm only using you just for sex or a lift for the car, or I'm basically only really using you. That's it. I'm not really, there's nothing in it. Whichever way you look at it, there is something that is losing interest, and I'm not really interested in this anymore. And that is also, like I said, around your physical love life. I feel that's over. I do. I think these games are done. So the name Dunn, Pucci, or Annalise, Stern, Dunn, or like these mental manipulation games, they're over. Because all I keep hearing, it's finished, it's over, definitely this time, because it's happened once before, and if it's happened again, it's bound to happen again, and then again, and again. Jen, Julian, Justin, Jasmine, and to be quite honest with you, play with yourself, because I would rather really be alone. So I'm afraid not. So you've got a Piscean energy here possible somewhere, okay? and I don't really want to play your games. I'm also losing interest in something that I was interested in once before, but I am no longer. I don't know if that's a subject matter of a thing, or work, or all of the above, but I'm not as interested in it as what I was before. Steve, another Steve, or me. But I'm not so interested in it as what I was once before. There's the Paolo Nutini song, than I was before. Just run me closer tonight. So grab my last request and just let me hold you. Don't shrug your shoulders. Lay down beside me. See, somebody keeps wanting someone to lay down beside them. Or Simon, or Cynthia, or Steve, or Sarah. And somebody keeps wanting the other person to just lay beside them, but they don't want to. They don't want to be side by a person. Someone that's loyal. So you've got Leo energy, Virgo energy. But it's coming across as gaslighting and confusing. Somebody wants something loyal, but the other person doesn't want the other person. So somebody, that's what I'm saying, somebody refuses to move on because they want someone that wants them that doesn't. And the person here is looking for someone that is loyal for what they want. So you're going your separate ways. That's what I'm saying. You don't have to wait for closure. If you want somebody that is loyal, protective, and gives you what you want, look for a new person that gives you what you want. Never look to reconcile an energy that is never persisted to work whatsoever. If it hasn't, then look for a person that is going to be what you want in a relationship. Okay, so if you're wanting someone that is like funny, or if you're wanting someone that does certain things, or is very mentally stimulating, or look for those qualities and think, okay, what do I want in a person? Don't look for the connection of whatever that is, metaphysically or physically. Look for, okay, what does this person really offer me in a relationship? Is that what I want? If that is a yes, but they don't give me it, that's a no, because that means you can't control the person to change. That's why you're probably dealing with a Scorpio, or a 4, Aries maybe. So I can't control the person. So if they're not giving me emotionally what I want, then move on here, whoever this is. Move on and find someone that can. Because this person, or what they're saying, can't. Okay, so they can't, they won't, and they're not going to. So if any of you are here and you're Leo energies or Aquarians, okay, and you've been trying your hardest to change a person, to adapt them and mould them into what it is that you want them to be, and they won't, that is an answer. That means no, go and find someone that you do vibe with well. Positive vibe, okay? So someone that you do vibe well with, and someone that you really do get on well with, and that you know that you could have a better connection. Okay, so you might have someone in mind here, is what I'm hearing. Like, I've got someone in mind that I could vibe better with. So go with that person. Take the weather with you, okay, or Heather. But like, take the weather with you. So what my spirit is saying, you're not going to change this other person. You've broke up and you've split up more than likely. You've gone your separate ways. Don't communicate back with the other person, or you them, or whichever way, okay? Find a person that you can adapt to what you like in a relationship. Because if a person doesn't like what you like, then you obviously don't really like each other, so what's the point of being with one another, okay? And if you don't have any common interests or anything other than just what you're going through constantly, then what's the point? So there isn't any. So you've got this waiting energy of, well, there's no point, because we've got nothing in common. We've got nothing on interest. There's nothing that's keeping the spirit alive, right? So because of that, basically move on. So a lot of people like Cancerians, they've got a lot of moving on, and as they move on, their past comes back, just like what you had of every time I try to move on, you come back. So you've kind of got this, like, people now, which you should be, is forcing yourself to move away from your past energy, okay, and then forcing yourself to either 1, be single, or 2, meet a new person. But do not go back with exes, because what I'm hearing, exes are an equivocal no. Future is yes, and it came up in the 7 energy of the Cancerian reading, because they had judgment twice. As they move on, the past comes back, and their advice was, say no to the past, move on with the future, either 1, single, 2, the idea or the project, and keep that in mind, and then not the actual energy of Pisces, not the energy of what didn't work before. If it never really did, and it never really would, it won't again. And their energy was, if you forget the past, which is the same as yours, if you forget the past and you move towards the future, then that will work, whatever it be. Something that you know works, work on that. Or you know that will work on that. Whatever it is that has persisted to not work, do not work on that, because that's finished. Okay, so that's your messages, whatever they're going to relate to you, Leo. That can be a person, a thing, or a project, or all of the above. Forget the past, move on, find someone that relates to you even more than what your past karmic cycles have done around trying to basically change your person, because they're not going to. Okay, so it's either stay as you are, do the Kurt Cobain thing, or move and stay as you are in that scenario and you're married and all that sort of shit and you're going to be going through that forever. Okay, or physically move and find someone new that'll help you get away from your past, because you have to focus on something new to help you get away from past. That, you know, because when you've got a common interest with something new in life, that will help you focus on the new person, the new thing and project. So that will focus you on that instead of concentrating on trying to rebuild what's failed, right? So it could be something around a Libra energy here. So always focus on things that, of new things, new projects, new things, new person. If there's a new person, focus on the new person, okay? Never really focus on the old, because they're saying if you go back with old, you're just going to go back to the same thing. Back to the drawing board, back to the boring board is what I'm hearing. So you're both going to be bored. So never do anything out of boredom, okay? So that's your message. Sorry, but I'm really hot at the moment, so I'm going to have to cut it slightly short. But it's about the same message, but that's all your messages that are there. Don't go back to your ex. Do not go back to your past. Look for future energies, either one being single or anybody new that you have in mind. Do that, okay? Even if it's a thing or a person, go with the thing. Okay, so there you go. So that's what we've got. So if you want to, thank you so much for listening to the free channel messages. If you want your actual tarot card reading, it will come up on the end screen. If it doesn't come up on the end screen, it will basically just come out straight after this. That will actually be your tarot card reading for August, Leo, and see if the energies change or what stuff you have coming up. And basically all you have to do is click on the end screen or find the video afterwards. But all details for personal readings, anything is all provided below in the show more section. Thanks very much, Leo, and I'll hopefully see you on your actual reading.